Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because in 4 minutes, the most electrifying hour in radio, the Payton Priv Sports Hour, is on. 4 minutes from now, so do not go anywhere.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. That old soldier man I give you no break. Not even your eyes now give you no breaks. Hey, hey, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Why did you have to act so mean? Don't you know you're a human being? Born of a mother with the love of a father. Reflection comes and reflection goes. I know sometimes you wanna let go. Hey, 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 I know sometimes you wanna let go. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You're too bad. You're too rude. You're too bad. You're too rude. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WMHB 89.7 Waterville, Maine. I am Payton Privitera from Payton Priv TV. This is the Payton Priv Sports Hour, the most electrifying hour in all of radio. You know, I'm joined here today by registered NCAA athlete and now NECHA hockey player Josh Houle. Josh, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling a little sore, Peyton. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had our biggest game of the year so far Wednesday against crosstown Waterville rivals Thomas College. Colby College played a great game. We won 2-1, but I think everyone's a little sore from that game. Highly physical game.
A wonderful game, very fun game to watch. Obviously, I was a healthy scratch. I made myself in-stadium DJ and play-by-play commentary for the live stream. Everyone watching at home seemed to love that. We're joined today. It's a wonderful, a beautiful, cold December 4th morning. We have, a lot to get into today. 1,000,001 things are happening, as they always are in the world of sports. Obviously, 1,000,002 things now, because it's been 2 weeks since you've last heard from us. we can stay with that game we had. 2-1 victory. Crosstown rivalry, a Subway Series, if you will, against Thomas College. Awesome game. Great win for our coach, Joe, who used to be a Thomas assistant coach, now our head coach. Able to, obviously, he'll give you all the polite answers because he's that type of guy, but I know in his heart, certainly in all of our hearts, that was a very great revenge game, a great emotional game. Obviously, you being on the ice, you played half the game. You're a defenseman. What's your takeaway? What was your lasting feeling?
Well, I think the one thing that the Colby hockey team did is they earned the respect of Thomas. I think Thomas came in expecting to roll over us. We're a bunch of scrapyard dogs, the underdogs, almost like the expansion team kind of vibe where you just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, you see what sticks. But I think they realized that every time the two schools are going to play, it's going to be a close game, it's going to be competitive, it's going to be physical.
I think thus far, we've proven that we're serious. We've played 3 games. We're undefeated still. We have 2 wins and a draw. We've been on the road, we've won. We've been at home, we've won. Every game except for that Thomas game has been a come-from-behind, comeback win. We've shown some serious character. I have to highlight the fact that, most of the team is freshmen. We have a lot of guys who've never played together before ever, and they have good chemistry. They have,
they've answered the bell.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's been a blast. Obviously, our dear friend Gabby became the first girl to play in a game in club history.
Yeah.
Really cool. So, we're undefeated. That's a narrative to watch. We'll let you know, in the spring. Hopefully that's still going on. We're not playing again until January. I'm not playing again until February.
Hey, you only missed 1 game, which is good.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if I didn't have a class, I probably would have been dressed for that game if I didn't have a conflict.
Most likely.
Yeah. Anyway, our top headline for today. Antonio Brown has been suspended for three games, correct?
Yep, along with 3 other players.
So the plot thickens. So anyway, the biggest name, Antonio Brown, has been suspended for 3 games by the National Football League for submitting a false or counterfeit vaccination card to the league.
I believe so. The NFL suspended. They said for misrepresenting his vaccination status. So I'm guessing, in layman's terms, that's gonna be a fake ID.
Absolutely.
Or a fake vaccination card.
And the story on the dirt sheets was that his ex-chef, his ex-personal chef, leaked the story, and he knew it. So I assume, use some critical thinking, put the puzzle pieces together. Those two stories correlate, and that would be why he is facing suspension now. Who are the other players, if we have that in front of us?
Cornerback Mike Edwards and free agent now cornerback John Franklin III.
So is it a Buccaneers problem, or is this league-wide?
No, these are 3 Buccaneers.
Okay, so there you go.
One that was released by the Bucs a while ago.
Right, okay.
But
he's probably, housing them and was like, yeah, we got this guy, man. We can get the car.
But here's the thing. Bruce Arians released a very controversial quote about it.
Does he have a fake vaccination card?
He does not. So far, by league investigation standards.
Right.
But his quote basically said, he's like, I'm glad that they did it, but it better not stop with just the Buccaneers.
What do you mean, like
Meaning
players getting
he
suspended
wants
for it?
the NFL to check every team now that his team was subject to
Oh,
investigation.
now that his team got, we gotta check everybody else. Okay, pal.
I mean,
Bruce Arians. I mean,
you have one of the biggest drama-inciting players on your team.
Yeah.
You got to think something's up, especially in a time when a world pandemic hits. This man almost froze his feet off in a cryo tank.
In the hyperbaric chamber. I feel like Bruce Arians went Hollywood. I loved him in Pittsburgh. I loved him in Arizona. I feel like once he connected with Brady, it's just I don't know. My view.
One spark can start an explosion.
My view of him
between those
changed. My view, the same way my view of Brady changed after
leaving New England.
Not even. I want to say the 2016 season.
Was that after he won against Seattle?
No, it was after the Atlanta Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl 52 season.
2017.
He
2018.
If he wanted a player traded, that player was traded. If he didn't want to show up to practice, he didn't show up. It was, a lot of people say he went Hollywood in 2010. I kept a little bit of faith, but then, the writing was on the wall in 2016. So that was my turning point.
But hey, we have the future now. But hey, we're getting a little sidetracked. We'll definitely be covering the Patriots later.
Let's get into that Patriots game later on. That was fantastic against Tennessee. Now Patriots are now the second seed in the AFC after the sky was falling in New England and the glory days of Belichick are over.
Mac Jones is a rookie.
And Mac Jones
he can't
is
throw it
horrible.
over 20 yards.
And now look at it all.
He's checked down Joe Flacco. The Patriots have no run game.
Now you turn on ESPN, NFL Network, at Alia.
Yeah,
That's all
you
they
hear-
talk about. The Patriots are the best team in football. They're the
Mac
hottest team in
Jones
football.
is going to be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's so poised. He shows reminiscence of Tom Brady.
And think about it. Obviously, they're getting better as the season goes along, but how
Definitely.
they haven't improved like drastically. Like they were playing this well week 1. They had a bad day, which you know my philosophy. Everyone's entitled to a bad day against the Saints, except for that. They're playing the football game is exactly the same. They're just going out there playing their game.
Every
they're
loss
making, like,
besides the Saints has been within one possession.
Yeah, they're just going out there. They're not making mistakes. You could chalk it up to that. Against the Dolphins, they made a mistake at the end. Against
The fumble, yeah.
against
The Bucks, it was a missed field goal.
Exactly. Well, actually, they made a mistake. The running back fumbled on what was going to be a touchdown drive, so you had to settle for 3 instead of 7.
But like a couple mistakes in that game, but overall, we played the Bucks almost perfectly.
Yeah.
I think that's the one time the Bucks have been held to like about less than 3 scores.
Brady had no touchdowns.
Mac Jones had 2.
Didn't the whole team have no? No, Fournette got one or something.
Yeah, for rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
But who else did we lose to besides the Saints, Bucks, Dolphins? I'm missing one.
Dallas in overtime. And Dallas just beat you. Like
Dallas had their best game of the year that one game.
That's one I can live with losing. Dallas,
Right.
they took you to overtime.
A
they
legitimate
won the toss,
contender.
And they beat you. Yeah. Champions of their division right now.
Right.
They're serious. They got Dak Prescott.
It wasn't an off day. Like the Patriots played well that game.
went
They
out there-
just lost on the last drive.
That's one that I can live with. You went out there, gave it your all. You drew, took it to overtime, and
Exactly.
you lost the toss and got beat. That's football.
But what
you
is
can live
one
with
of
that?
Like looking at the Patriots, the 6-game win streak. What do you think is one of their biggest keys to success?
I think the inclusion of Kendrick Bourne as a major player
That's
in
where I
the
was
offensive scheme.
That's what I was been thinking. This receiving core.
I interviewed him, and he's had the best 5 games of his
ever
career in a
since.
row. So I think
You're
there's something
his
to be
lucky
said
rabbit's
there.
foot.
Yeah.
But he's ever since you had that talk with him. How many touchdowns has he gotten? At least 4.
I know
he had 2 against Tennessee.
Last week alone, he got 2, and they were both just amazing.
The tiptoe down the sideline,
he had
the goal
over
line
the head
fade.
one in the post fade in the corner, and then he had the one where he walked the line, the tightrope walk, stayed in bounds, ran another 30 yards, and got to the house. So I mean, he's been phenomenal. You have to. A lot of guys deserve credit on this team. Nelly Aguilar, Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is Mac Jones' favorite target in the red zone.
I think Hunter Henry is tied with the tight ends for most touchdowns.
I think so.
He's at least top 5. He's got 7 or 8.
Yeah, at least. He's got at least 6.
And there's a lot of players on this team undervalued who are working their tail off every week, and that's showing on the stat sheet, if not sometimes.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, absolutely. Even
his
battling
blocking
injury.
presence is better than anyone. And then he had his game of the season against, guess who? His former team.
Yeah, that's right.
I think another player that's severely undervalued who's been almost making an emergence this season, Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers, absolutely. There was a list you sent me. It was from, I believe, Bleacher Report, right? Gridiron.
Yeah.
And they said their number one, either most improved player or most improved, skill position player, eligible receiver, was Jacoby Myers. And I think it shows.
It definitely does. He finally got his first
touchdown.
The nice heartwarming feel. But ever since then, he hasn't slowed down. I think against the Titans, he didn't score a touchdown, but he had 100 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get open. You got to work. You got to work on your release, your move. He was showing it.
Yeah.
Mac Jones I think he was perfect on play action passes. He was like 11 for 11 for 140 yards or something like that.
Awesome. I mean, that's how you have to run this type of offense. Everyone's comparing, Mac Jones' rookie season to Brady's, what really was his rookie season, but his second year season, his 2001 season. And that's how you have to run the offense. You have to, get the ball out fast, quick, disguised runs, dink it and dunk it, short passes, and then every so often, once the defense is softened up, you take that shot. But if you can establish the run and you get your play action going, and you have a quarterback who can get the ball out quickly and accurately on the PA, the PA action plays, you're golden. No,
right.
That's been a staple to the Patriots offense since you and I were born.
My one question for you is, a lot of people have been saying this, but do you think Josh McDaniels' play calling has held back the potential that Mac Jones could unleash?
I don't think so. I think he fits the system well. I think it took him a couple of weeks to figure out how to properly use Mac Jones, but as is to be said with any new quarterback brought into a system,
Especially a rookie at that.
Right.
Because if, say, Kirk Cousins came to you, you know how he likes to function. You can build your game plan around Kirk Cousins, whereas you have to mold your game plan around a rookie.
Right. I feel like exactly like they could kind of tell what his tendencies were, but the beginning the playbook was kind of cookie cutter, and not
Right.
very tailored and customized to the the skills of the player. Now that they know what they have, I think they're making a very personalized game plan every week.
One thing I have noticed, though,
And so too, you have to look
Yeah.
at the skill players. How all
Exactly.
these brand new guys you brought in, 2 tight ends you've never had before, 2 starting wide receivers you've never had before. Rookies at running back. It's they had to figure it out, and I think they did figure it out. They figured it out very quickly, and they've adjusted accordingly.
I believe that as well. One of the best parts about the season has been the addition of Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's been pulling huge yardage over his past few games. Damian Harris is still contributing in many ways, but I think another underrated rookie on this team, Christian Barmore on the defensive line.
Yeah,
He's been one of the best pressures on that line right now, and he's giving quarterbacks fits.
He gets good penetration. I think he's one to watch for. There are a lot of really good players on this, not just the defense, the defensive line. Judon, who I think on the stat sheet might even be a linebacker, not even a defensive end.
Yeah,
They put him on the edge. He edge rushes. He had his career high for season sacks after week 8, which means he's gonna go to the Pro Bowl. A lot of guys, we'll get to that later. A lot of guys on this team are probably gonna go to the Pro Bowl. But
they're
you
probably
got
not going to
him-
play in it because Patriots did a Super Bowl.
Woo! But you got him on the line. You got Godshaw on the line. You got is Winovich still getting DE reps, or is he exclusively
believe-
special teams right now?
I believe he's still staying on special teams right now,
Yeah.
but I think it's either Winovich or Osashki, and one of the two blondies are injured right now.
Van Noy plays outside linebacker, but when they line him up on the line for a blitz, he gets there. He gets there, boy.
Dante Hightower as well. Him coming back to this defensive core has been huge.
Absolutely.
He might not be who he was in 2017, but he is that veteran influence in that locker room that they need, and it's been showing.
I think his role has changed. They've had obviously he's an inside linebacker anyway, but he's been mostly dropping back into coverage or second wave.
He's been a lot of QB spy designations.
Exactly.
Same with Kyle Van Noy. He's
Yeah.
been doing a lot more spot. Like, it showed the game against Tennessee. He hit perfectly. He almost had that interception.
Right.
But it's still a defended pass.
And then J.C. Jackson. He's still leading the league in
He was
picks.
player of the month by the NFLs.
There you go.
That's who they gave it to, J.C. Jackson.
Yeah. He'll probably go to the Pro Bowl just based on
There's a huge debate right now for Defensive Player of the Year. And it's between 3 main players, 2 of them which are Patriots.
Really? So
J.C.
who's
Jackson.
the Patriot?
Judon.
Love Judon.
And the third one, it's a very valid argument. Cowboys defender, Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I can see
Trayvon.
that. He's putting
9 interceptions over his last 12 games.
He's having a very special season. I could see him.
Not only that,
being-
I believe he's a rookie.
Maybe. Yeah, I think he is. Either this year or last year. I think
He's very new to the league.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah, he's a special. No, he has to be a rookie because he's wearing number 7. Yeah.
Yeah, has to be.
Wow.
Wait,
So
why would he
that's-
be a rookie if he's wearing number 7?
I don't think he like. I remember it was when he announced his number. Like it wasn't a change. It was I'm wearing number 7.
I got you.
So
Because
yeah.
college.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good to know, dude. I need a red hoodie and red Nike cutters so I can be Matt Judon
For Halloween next year.
just in general. show up to Christmas dinner. Yeah, Matt Judon. Do the swipe your mouth Joker celebration. I wish we had
A lot of
video.
people have been debating what that celebration is.
I think it's like he's a beast or a monster, and after a monster eats or a person eats and there's stuff all over their mouth, they wipe the mouth clean. There's,
Because
juices
a lot
and
of people,
blood, and it's
a lot of people have seen him rub his stomach sometimes after he does that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking eat up the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I think it's hysterical.
Regardless, I love seeing it every time he gets a sack. It's so disrespectful, but I love it.
It's great.
It's one of the best sacks I've ever seen, especially in an age now where there's taunting left and right in the NFL.
Oh, the taunting, it's ridiculous. You'll have guys I don't even know.
Point in the general direction.
I've seen fist fights this season that have only resulted in
Fines.
either a fine or nothing, and this is his first penalty towards 2 penalties resulting in a disqualification.
First
Whereas you have
penalty in
guys-
that category.
You have guys who they'll just point at nothing, and it'll happen to be there's a player 30 yards away from them in the general direction. 15 yards taunting, and because it's called taunting on the field, the league will issue like a $15,000 fine or worse. And it's ridiculous. And the worst part is the way that rule's written. It's not even specific. The players don't even know what taunting is or isn't. It's just whatever the referees decide they feel like taunting is that morning.
15-yard penalty for making a frowny face to your opponent.
I forget which player made a statement about this, but it was,
Cassius March, right?
Was it Cassius? No. It was an ex-player. It was on ESPN. It was during that booth that used to have Rex Ryan and Randy Moss, but the two of them weren't there for either the holiday or for something, or maybe it was a different time slot, whichever.
I know what you're talking about.
I'll find it at some point. It was all over social media, but he made a point. It's like, I spend, minimum 10 hours of my day, every day of my life for the last 20 years to prepare to be here and do what I just did, and I'm being told I can't, feel the emotion and the adrenaline and the invigoration by somebody who has not done a fraction of what I've done and know the feeling that I'm feeling right now.
Exactly.
And that was part of his point. That the number one, it's what it takes to prepare to be in an NFL football game. We cannot even fathom it. We cannot, conceptualize how physically demanding it is, not just within the week of, but like years prior.
Right.
And you have, God bless some of the referees, because I know you get a lot of like Skeletor and Houle who exercise every day and look good, but the equivalent of like a fat donut referee saying, "Oh, well, you can't point your finger over there. That's a 15-yarder and money out of your pocket."
I think a lot of NFL referees are people who just weren't good enough to make it to the next level, and sometimes they just take their frustration out by just drawing this dumb penalty.
Oh, well, certain referees, and obviously every sport has this problem because of the ego, but they make the game about themselves, where it has,
It's not control. It's power hungry.
Exactly.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, egotistical. Yeah. So that that's our spiel on taunting penalties.
Yeah.
That's just make it specific.
We spiel on it every week.
Make it specific. It's one of those things. It's like if you're gonna pull that routine, because I remember there was one year they expanded what you were allowed to do for celebrations.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, do whatever you want. And
you can celebrate on the ground.
But they were very specific. They were like, you can't pretend you have weapons. You can't go up to another player and,
be like, oh, you like them
them
apples.
Yeah. They were very specific. And we were like, okay, that's the future of celebration. They made it fun for television now. Then you get, 5 seasons later? What year was Super Bowl? What Super Bowl is this? 56?
Yeah, we're on 56.
4 seasons later. And now they drew it right back, but only halfway, and no one knows where the line in the sand is.
Yeah.
So it's like the players are upset.
It's just they've done very half-hearted dances at this point.
Yeah, it's like they're taking the fun away. It's the no fun league again.
Now that we're talking on football, do you want to go through this week just while we're at it?
Yeah, we can get into the lightning round. We're gonna do an early lightning round, folks. Normally we save it for
the last 5 minutes.
But we'll get into it right now.
We'll get into it. We're talking football.
Yeah. Very fun game to watch on Thursday Night Football. We had the Cowboys beat the Saints. Taysom Hill finally made a start at quarterback. I feel like
tied his career interceptions in one game.
Yeah, how many was it? 4?
4.
4 interceptions. Amazingly, still had 20 fantasy points. Yeah.
All because of his legs.
He ran for 101 and a touchdown?
No, ran for 101 through 2 touchdowns.
What saved him was that play at the end, the 75-yard touchdown.
The garbage time touchdown.
Yeah, because that's 4 points for a touchdown pass, and then
another 3 points because it was 75
yards. 75 yards, yeah. So saved him there.
Stat padding.
I remember we were watching that live. You had him in your lineup, and you were like, he kept,
He went from 17 to 15 to 12.
Yeah.
Then he got the 13 on a run.
Yeah. Then he had the big pass, and I was like, there you go. You earned all those points back.
Yeah. It was a very emotional roller coaster game for my fantasy team.
Yeah. And God bless the kid who scored it. Didn't they say that was his first touchdown?
I think so.
That's obviously you want to win the game, but as a play, as a single isolated play, that's a very cool play to score your first touchdown on. Guy on the Cowboys defense, whoever got the pick 6 from the defensive line, that was his first touchdown.
Big man touchdown.
Big man touchdown.
I mean, we didn't get to touch on this last night, but last week on Monday Night Football, Seahawks and Washington, we had a big man play.
Yeah.
Blocks the field goal, scoops up his own block, and he ran it all the way back for 2 points.
Oh, he got 2 points, but that's still a hat trick, isn't it?
It's called a big man hat trick.
Yeah.
That's a big man hat trick right there.
That's awesome.
It's probably going to be the play he remembers the rest of his life is that big man hat trick.
How did he hold the ball, though? Was it the loaf of bread carry, or did he have it tucked? That's awesome.
It was like a little combination. Once he got a little separation, he went to the tuck, but he just went loaf of bread for the first 10, 15 yards.
I'm so glad they instituted that rule that the defense can get a 2-point conversion. I remember the first season they ever did it, it cost the Patriots home field in the playoffs, because you remember there was a game either Sunday night or Monday night. It was Saints Broncos, and it was that year the Broncos weren't even good. They were just lucking into wins, or the referees were giving them wins.
You mean like the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, exactly. No, so the Saints were down 6, scored a touchdown, kicked the bonus point. Bonus point gets blocked. Denver runs it all the way back. And there was actually controversy because the player who picked it up was right by the sideline, had white cleats, and nobody knew if he stepped out or not. And on review, I think clearly he stepped out. But they let the call I was going to say the call on the ice. The call on the field stood. And as opposed to being up 1, the Saints were now down 2 within the 2-minute warning and had to kick an onside kick and didn't get it. Or maybe,
that's terrible.
Maybe actually, you want to know how ridiculous this was?
Tell me.
They went there. They didn't get the onside kick. Held Manning to have to punt. Got the ball back, and I think Breeze threw an interception on the first or second play. I know. But anyway, I love that play that you can the defense has a chance on the 2-pointer. It actually extends the bounds of what's the thing there? The
possibility.
scoregami.
Yeah, scoregami.
Because it is now possible for the team that lines up as the defense to have a 1-point safety scored against them. So although statistically improbable, it is possible to have a game end 6-1 in the NFL, given that new rule.
I wonder if the Washington-Seattle game went into scoregami.
Check the website. I'm sure it was a unique.
The final score was 17-15.
I'm sure that's a score that's happened, but only like four times ever or something like that. Yeah.
Let me check that, because very recent memory of mine, I don't see any 17-15 games in my head.
I can see it having happened, but not commonly. Like 17. What do you got?
13 games total have happened on the score.
So in 100-something years, only 13 games. That's a very rare score.
Right.
Yeah.
But going into the lightning round now. Opening the 1:00 window, we have Colts at Texans.
We have our boy Tyrod Taylor coming back from injured reserve.
He's been active. This is his third week back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He played against he played against the Jets last week in Miami the week before.
Okay. He beat the Jets at least, right?
No, the Jets won. Miami also won.
Anyway, let's hope he has some fire under his feet and he can beat Indy.
No. I have the Colts defense.
You have the Colts defense? Well, I have Tyrod Taylor. All my quarterbacks are on bye this week. So
you picked up Tyrod Taylor.
The options were Tyrod Taylor and Jared Goff. I was like, Tyrod Taylor's first game back. He's going to have a point to prove.
Well, you have Tyrod Taylor playing a very hot Colts defense, which I think the Colts are going to win that game.
Yeah.
Or you can have Jared Goff and the Lions take on the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't think so. I think the Vikings D is too good. I think Jared Goff might get beaten up.
But the Vikings offense taking a huge blow last week. Dalvin Cook with a dislocated shoulder.
Oh.
Out multiple games, about 3 weeks, they're saying.
Okay.
Which, for all you fantasy people out there, that's got to be a huge blow to the system.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people have him, so that's...
Including me.
I know.
I'm sad. I think the Vikings are going to win that. Kirk Cousins has always been a great passer this year. He's been mediocre. This year
he's been limiting his mistakes. You know how I feel about him. He's his own worst enemy. He's the Tuukka Rask of football.
That addition of Justin Jefferson has just made him that more dangerous.
Hey, Justin Jefferson, he has Michael Jeffrey Jordan tendencies. Anyway, so I'm taking the Texans in the first game. Yep. And I'm taking the Vikings in the second game.
I'm going to take the Colts and then the Vikings.
He's got Michael Jeffrey Jordan tendencies.
Continuing the 1:00 window, we have the red-hot Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Giants.
Miami Dolphins. I'll take the Dolphins in that game.
I'm going to take the Dolphins, too. They have one of the softest schedules coming up, and they're now sitting at, I believe, Yeah, 5-7 right now.
They could get back into the
They
division.
could come back in over 500.
Yeah.
The AFC East is starting to look hot again.
Yeah. Don't even talk about this next game. The Buccaneers are going to beat the Falcons.
Buccaneers are gonna be. We're gonna skip that. It doesn't belong.
Unless the Buccaneers blow it themselves, they're going to beat the Falcons. The Falcons aren't bad either. They could.
Falcons right now are half a game outside of the last wild card spot.
They overcame the Saints. They have a better record than the Saints now. The Saints were supposed to win the division after the Buccaneers losing streak, and they obviously they blew it themselves. They're 0-5 in their last 5.
I mean, you gotta blame it on Jameis Winston's
had
ACL.
19 golden opportunities to claim the division and just lost every week in a row. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Why? Why did Sean Payton wait 5 weeks? 5 weeks to play Taysom Hill at quarterback.
I think Thursday night explained why he waited 5 weeks. He threw 4 interceptions.
Well, he threw them all. He threw 3 of them at least in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when the team needed him most.
But if you think about the rest of that game, he gave him a better chance to win than Travis Simeon has the past couple of weeks.
Well, they've never really been in any chance to win.
Well,
no clutch moments.
There was that one game they lost by 2.
That's true. But also, I think what gave Sean Payton the hope is that Trevor Simeon beat Tom Brady. Jameis Winston didn't beat Tom Brady. Jameis Winston threw one of those touchdowns. Okay. Simeon also went.
Trevor Simeon won that game when Jameis Winston got injured and got pulled. They were
in the
down
first quarter.
They were down at least 10 points.
Exactly.
No, did Trevor Simeon win? Trevor Simeon came back from
against Tom Brady. I think that's what gave Sean Payton hope.
I know, but the hope once you lose 2, you gotta say
you can't lose 2 and just. I
can't lose 2. Anyway.
I don't know.
No, so here's the thing.
2 losses is like back-to-back losses is tough, but it's just too small of a sample size to change up. Like if Tom Brady goes to you, what do you gotta do? Throw in Blaine Gabbert?
No, but he was your emergency. You called him out to stop the bleeding. If he makes it bleed again, you gotta try something else. Like it's like goaltending in the playoffs. You gotta feed the hot hand. If you say your top goalie gets injured and you put in the new guy and he finishes that first game, he wins, then he loses 2 if not 3 in a row. You go to whoever's next. You call someone else's number and hopefully you hope they can answer the bell.
That's
you gotta I know this is a bad analogy, but say this was the NHL playoffs. You would have lost everything. That's 4 games. So you can't go to Taysom Hill.
But
I know that's a bad example.
I think another thing that leaves a sour taste in Sean Payton's mouth is how Taysom Hill did last year in those 4 games where he had to be at QB.
True.
And Taysom Hill last year,
I mean,
mediocre at best.
But let's look at the payroll here.
I know they're paying him $54 million.
He's on your roster as a quarterback. His contract is worth $54 million. I mean, I'd hate to be that guy because I know what happened to Doug Flutie in Buffalo, and I still can't live with it at night. But if you're paying that guy that type of money to be your quarterback, and he's not even in the conversation for 5 straight weeks, what are you doing?
That's true.
Either you made the wrong decision in the front office giving him that much money, or you're making bad decisions as the coaching staff by not putting him in.
That's true.
Say what you will, 4 interceptions are 4 interceptions, but he ran for 100 plus and threw for 230.
Lamar Jackson would be proud.
Yeah, that's a Lamar Jackson night. Lamar Jackson beat the Cleveland Browns with worse stats than that the other night.
That's true.
Yeah?
I don't know.
So anyway.
I think we'll see how it goes next week. Does he give Taysom another chance? Does he throw in Simeon? It's going to be a rough stretch up for the Saints at their QB position. I think we can agree on that.
I think unless they right the ship next week, I think they're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking
100%.
of righting the ship, to get our train back on the tracks, I'm going to take the Buccaneers over the Falcons.
That's 100%. Next in the 1 o'clock window, we got Jets-Eagles.
Jets-Eagles? Oh, man.
I'm going to feel the hot hand here, as you said, and I'm going to take the New York Jets in this one, surprisingly. I'm going to take the New York Jets.
That's true. The Jets they're finding magic with this kid, Zach Wilson, now that he's healthy again.
Wilson watched. He's gonna take after his predecessor?
Predecessor.
But he's gonna look after his idol, Michael White.
Michael White. How about the other guy? What was the guy? Josh Jacob.
Well, Josh Johnson.
Jacob Johnson, something like that.
Josh
Anyway.
Johnson or something. Yeah.
I
I'm gonna take the Jets here. The Eagles just came off a terrible loss to the Giants.
I want to
Jalen Reagor had a chance to win the game. A 4th down with 18 seconds left. Ball goes right through his hands like he's got butter in his gloves. Not only did he drop that 4th down, he dropped one on 3rd down too.
I want to take the Eagles so bad in that game, but I know what's going on in their dressing room. They had
The Eagles play down to the competition, and it bites them in the behind every single time.
Who's the kid they drafted for Hurts, thinking he was gonna be Jamar Chase, and he's really just like.
It's Reagor, I think.
Is it?
I
No.
believe it's
It was
Reagor.
somebody was wide open 3 different times, and they didn't find him. He wears a single-digit number.
Quez Watkins?
He wears number 6.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. That's it. Yeah. He won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you tape. They had him like in that.
Everyone thought he was going to be Rookie of the Year.
In that final drive, they had him wide open on like go routes, wide
Multiple
open.
times.
The kid didn't even look his way.
No.
Hurts didn't even look his way. Not only did I not pass to you, I wasn't even looking your way. Anyway, so I feel there are no stories about this because obviously the Eagles aren't very good this season, but I feel like there's trouble going on in the dressing room. The chemistry's
There's
not
some
there.
off-field drama that we haven't seen.
So the question is, what's going to be a bigger impediment? The Jets being not capable, or the Eagles having poor chemistry. So I think I'll go with my initial feeling. I'll take the Eagles anyway. Whatever.
All right. I got Cardinals-Bears. Cardinals. Kyler Murray, rumored to be back tomorrow.
Bears, rumored to be horrible.
Not rumored. It's fact. You barely beat the Detroit Lions.
This will be an interesting game. Still in the last game of the 1 o'clock window.
Chargers,
Bengals. That's gonna be a cool
game.
game.
In Los Angeles.
That's gonna be a very cool game. No,
in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Excuse
it's in
me.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
Looking at
very
the
fun
next
game to watch. I don't know.
I gotta. I'm gonna play the hot hand, as my co-host Payton Privitera likes to say.
Feed the hot hand.
Oh my bad. I'm gonna take the Bengals here. Bengals coming off 2 very, very, very strong wins, coming off their bye week. 6. What is the word? Like to prove yourself.
To prove yourself.
Convincing wins.
Okay. Yeah.
You beat the Raiders by 20 something. You blow out the Steelers 41-10. The Steelers, who are still somehow alive in the AFC race, I don't know how, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But all of a sudden, you're playing the worst rushing defense in the NFL right now.
Right.
And you got Joe Mixon in the backfield. Joe Mixon's found himself this year.
Joe Mixon's awesome. Well, not even. He was this good, last year and the year before. It's just he's got guys around him.
He's been more consistent this year.
Here's the thing: he's not the only player on that team anymore.
Right.
Like the offense is 2-dimensional now. So the whole defensive scheme won't be designed around stop Joe Mixon. It'll be we have to play against Cincinnati.
Chase,
so
Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins.
So the defense is loosened up for him a little bit. He's getting more chances, which is helping his game.
Right, and Joe Burrow is having an amazing comeback here after that terrible ACL injury last year.
Awesome. Joe Burrow's awesome. And
I'm gonna
he
take
throws it to Jamar Chase.
I think it's going to be a
great.
high-scoring game. Defense is not going to exist. I say Bengals win in a shootout.
All right. Just because you said Bengals, I'll make it interesting, and I'll take the Chargers. I like.
I just want to point out. Remember when you went against me in the Minnesota Green Bay game? Just remember who won that.
True.
Opening up the late window, 4:05. We have the Jaguars at the Rams.
Oh man, what would I give for like the upset of the season in that game for the Jaguars?
You got your 2 favorite teams to talk about. You got the Jaguars.
The Rams. I don't have my soundboard ready. But the
Rams.
The Rams, since they made those trades, they're on a skid. They're
0-4.
0-4.
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's count them real quick. Green Bay, Tennessee, 49ers. It might be 3. I can't think of a 4th on me by chance. Oh, go ahead, play it.
Well, no, who is?
The Rams?
The Rams? All right, so it's
Never gets old.
Jaguars never gets old, never ever. The Rams. So it's Jaguars Rams in Englewood.
In Inglewood.
Okay.
I gotta say,
I
I
mean,
mean, statistically, it'll be a good bounce back game for Matt Stafford.
the smart money says the Rams, but the better story is the Jaguars.
I mean, yeah, Trevor
I
Lawrence beats
gotta-
Matt Stafford. I'll take that.
I gotta sit here and take the Rams, but if the all elite Jaguars can win this game, you're not gonna hear me complaining.
Yeah, me neither.
That'd be fantastic.
Continuing the 405 windows, Washington football team at Las Vegas Raiders.
Taking the football team.
I'm gonna take the football team. They're very hot right now. 3 wins in a row, being led by the one man flash in the pan, Taylor Heineke, who has been up and down this season.
Yeah, it's been a tough
He's
season
lost. He's lost to almost Daniel Jones,
for him.
but he beat
Daniel
Tom
Jones.
Brady. That was an awesome game,
That was
by
a
the way.
great
Beating
game.
Tom Brady, get the revenge for an NFC wild card. That was awesome to
It
watch.
might not even be worth anything though, because we have chuckleheads in that division. Who are the 2 prayers in this division? The Saints and the Falcons.
Right.
Horrible.
Well, right now Washington
putrid.
holds the last wild card at 5-6.
No, I'm saying to take the division away.
Division.
Yeah,
Well, right now
putrid.
they're playing spoiler with the Cowboys, who are very susceptible to losing as of right now.
Not this division to take away the
The NFC East.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've been kind of slipping up the past few weeks. They barely beat the Saints with Taysom Hill, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
425.
No, the South, the NFC South. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were thinking of the South.
No, I'm saying to take away the NFC South.
Oh! I know what you mean now. 425. Steelers hosting the Ravens.
I got Ravens in that game.
I don't want the Ravens to win.
Says I
want
It's-
this.
it's
This is
the
the one
one-
time you will hear me say on record that I want the Steelers to win is when they play the Ravens.
That's the story of my life. Is whenever I need the Steelers to win or want the
lose.
Steelers to win, they never win. Doesn't matter how good or how bad they are. Any game you need them to lose, they win. Any game you need them to win, they lose, and that's the end of that.
That's true.
So I would
Because
I
if
would
the
like,
Steelers win and the Patriots win, Patriots take the number 1 seed.
I'll take the Steelers. I'll take the Steelers
take the
in that
Steelers
game.
as
Why
well.
not? It's in Pittsburgh.
It's in
In
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
They
I'll take
hate the
Steelers.
Ravens.
Yeah.
I gotta take it there.
Yeah.
425. Seahawks hosting the 49ers. 49ers red hot right now.
I have 49ers with.
I have 49ers.
I was gonna say with the upset, it's not even an upset anymore. 'Cause
No,
they're playing
49ers
so
are
well.
above 500 now.
They might.
Jimmy G.
They might steal that division away from LA.
If LA
They're
keeps
playing
slipping.
so well lately.
And
They
the
might.
49ers still have one more game against the Rams.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to watch. Keep an eye on the 49ers making a last-minute push for the NFC West.
Story to watch there.
That's
Only
gonna be a
time
fun
will
one to
tell.
watch.
But I'll take the Niners in that game, my boy.
And then you got Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs hosting the Broncos.
Chiefs.
Chiefs 100%. Broncos have been the most inconsistent team in football. They'll lose to who they lose to that was like supposed to be a super easy matchup.
I know it was
forgetting.
early in the season. I forget who it was. It was I know the one.
You
I know
what
the
I'm
one, and I
talking
can't
about.
think of it. Yeah.
But yet again,
Was it-
they'll beat the Chargers. They'll beat
Was it the football team?
No, I don't think so.
Keep in mind, there's one extra random NFC matchup because of the new season,
Right.
and they were both division champions. So that's.
I'm pulling this up. I need to make my point.
Was it the Raiders? Well, the Raiders were still good at that point.
Right. Let's see. They beat the Giants. They beat.
Oh, you're talking about the Broncos. I thought you were talking about the Chiefs.
No, I'm talking about the Broncos.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
the
no.
both teams are super inconsistent.
Well, the Broncos are the epitome of like they have days that are their days, and they have days that aren't their days. So they're two different teams that are going to show up any given week. That's been the story of the Broncos.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
think this
The Broncos.
season.
The Broncos will beat the Cowboys. They beat the Chargers, but they'll lose to
The Eagles.
yeah. No. They lost to the Eagles 30-13.
That's the game I was thinking.
They
of.
lost to the Ravens 23-7. They lose to the Browns by 3. That was a close game.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Broncos want a shot for that AFC West crown. They got to beat the Chiefs.
You gotta beat everybody.
They got to beat the Chiefs twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Chiefs also very, very disappointing season so far. By Chiefs standards, even though you're holding first place in the AFC West as usual, this is gonna be the bumpiest road for Patrick Mahomes this year.
Yeah.
Bumpiest season. He's been losing to many teams that he should have beaten.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this, ad nauseum. It feels like what the problem is with the Chiefs changes every week. Like once they solve it, a new one either, fabricates itself or something that was fine becomes the problem. Like first it was the defense was horrible. Then it was, the offensive line was fine because they spent $1 trillion on it. Then the offensive line was the problem. Then the offensive line figured out their game. Something happened with either the running backs or the receivers that I can't remember. And it's always been something, but I think they got the train back on the tracks now.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Yeah.
It's been very convincing the past few weeks.
And the last game, what's the Patriots on Monday night?
I don't know. The Chiefs actually have one of the hardest schedules coming up.
Probably. Well, they're division
After
champions.
the Broncos, they got Raiders.
They're in a loaded division, and they're the division champions, and they're playing the hardest NFC division as their division right. Wait, no. What's their NFC matchup this season?
They already played the NFC matchup, I believe.
What division?
I think it's the Packers game.
No, the division, the full division. It's the East. It's the Cowboys. Cowboys, Eagles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they played the
and
NFC.
Then their
their
NFC,
one random game was the Packers.
Their NFC TV game is the Packers. Yeah, that's huge. So because of the new TV schedule, if you're a division champion, you had to play. What was it? 4 division champions the next season.
Yep.
Now you're playing 5 with the extra TV game.
Well, yeah, all depending. Yeah, if you're a division champion, you do play 5.
But that's how they do it. They make it so your
the
division
hardest
standings match.
Right.
For that extra game. Wow.
Which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
But I think we have the Chiefs taking that game easy.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs in that game against Denver. Yeah.
And I think this goes without a doubt. Actually, you could argue that the Chargers Bengal game is going to be fun to watch, but I think the most anticipated game of the week is going to be Monday Night Football. New England Patriots visiting the Buffalo Bills.
Patriots are winning that game.
Oh, 100%. I got Patriots winning 27-20.
I don't even care what the score is. I just know the Patriots are going to win that game. When they play Buffalo on Monday nights, you get some wacky scores. I remember
Bill Belichick all time 25-5 against the Bills.
There you go.
Including last year's sweep.
And minimum 2 of those games were intentional losses after the conference was clinched.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bills have also been very rocky this year.
I think they
convincingly beat the Chiefs.
They came out,
but they lose to the Steelers.
They came out hot because the beginning of their season was a joke. They were playing nothing teams. Now it's catching up with them. There's tape against them, and they're playing against real opponents. The honeymoon's over.
They're a one-dimensional offense.
They had fun last year when the Patriots weren't the Patriots, and now they woke up from the dream. Reality is struck again.
The clock struck midnight, and the Buffalo Bills are turning back into pumpkins.
Well, not quite yet. Let's see how they do. If they lose 3 in a row, if they miss the playoffs, and they turn it into pumpkins. But they had all the hype. Allegedly, they had all the talent to be this good. So I think having lost the way they've been losing the past couple of weeks has been what's the word here? Has been a disappointment. It's been below what people expected of them.
Exactly.
So
because they got embarrassed by the Colts.
Yeah.
Which has been the surprising.
And they honestly could have lost that Saints game until the Saints threw it away themselves. They easily could have won that Saints game. Lost that Saints game.
Because it was only 10-7 at the half.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget that.
So I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots. If you can stop Josh Allen from running and force him to throw it, you're going to make mistakes. And that's why I have the Patriots winning.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to go to a break. Coming out of the break, we have some viewer questions, some listener questions that we'll get to. A lot of other narratives going on. We can talk about hockey, basketball, baseball, even soccer, you name it. But don't go anywhere. I'm Payton Privitera here with Josh Houle, and this is the Payton Priv Sports Hour on WMHB. We'll be right back.
shot, scores! Coming right, Bird, Campbell, he scores! Wheeler working on White, scores! Blake Wheeler, Ryder to Sagan, scores! It's gonna be raining hearts at TD Garden. 23, turnover, score! Nathan Horton gets a gift.
Oh, Thomas with the save of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WMHB 89.7. This is the Payton Priv Sports Hour. I'm Payton Privitera from Payton Priv TV. I'm here with Josh Houle. We have a call-in question from Anthony Young in Cambridge. And the question is that Mac Jones is posting better early numbers than Brady did at this stage of his career. Do you think he has the potential to have a career on par with Brady's?
As much as I want to say yes to this question, it's still too early to tell, in my opinion. Like, you look at Justin Herbert putting up Rookie of the Year numbers last year, right?
Yeah.
How's he doing this year? Mediocre, right?
I mean,
They're
you
not
can't really
terrible.
say that. He's second in the division.
That's true. But, like, is he anywhere as close as he was his first year?
Yeah.
But less. Can we say it's
Get
less
the-
than...
Well, he
The true measurement to a rookie's success is 5 years from his rookie year to see if he's still on par with his numbers.
I suppose so. I mean,
When there's 5 years of tape on you compared to 5 games of tape.
true. Here's the thing. I mean, if you call up the numbers, maybe it's just passing yards per game dropped or this or that. But
That's true.
he's won more games than he did last year. Certainly.
That's definitely true.
I mean,
If
that to me-
they get
to
over
me-
7 wins, that's improvement. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that should be, obviously, we love, our statistics, but that should be, number one is can they go out there and win you the football game? And I think he's done that. He's done just that. Certainly, Mac Jones has been doing just that. I mean,
Oh,
even
yeah.
the games the games the Patriots have lost were not Mac Jones' fault.
No.
He went out there. He either went out there and won you the football game, or he gave you a chance to win the football game, and it was on you that you blew it. Except for that Saints game.
Saints game when he threw 3. You throw those 3 picks away, and his touchdown to interception ratio is through the roof.
Yeah.
Right now, he's what? 18-8, something like that.
I'm not quite
Touchdowns
sure.
to interceptions,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
I'll get that for you. Hang on.
Filling in the time while Peyton checks his
Well, you can
stats.
say
I
something.
know.
Come up with like. I mean, Mac
I
Jones.
think-
He's obviously done better than what people expected. I'm doing both jobs right now. His everyone was saying, oh, it's gonna be Trevor Lawrence's league. It's gonna be Trey Lance's league, and
It's gonna be Zach
the-
Wilson's league.
the quiet kid from Nick Saban, Alabama, was dropped down to 15, and he got stolen by the evil empire. And he's been the best rookie out of anybody. He's got more wins than every other rookie quarterback combined. He's got more even touchdowns than every rookie quarterback combined. Yeah, his touchdown to interception is 16-8. So
There we
he's
go,
got
2-1.
good 2-to-1 ratio. That's
That
what we love
is
to see.
Exactly.
At least 2 of those weren't his fault. But yeah, I think he's been phenomenal this year.
100%.
I don't think he's gonna drop off next year.
I don't think
I
so
think he
either.
I think he's just gonna develop and get better. He's under the tutelage
Not only is
of
he
the greatest coach in the history of football, Bill Belichick.
Not
I
only is he
think-
going to get better though under Belichick, I think that whole offense is going to get better under Belichick.
Well, everybody's committed
Exactly.
Everybody, you name it, KB, Hunter Henry, Jonu Smith. I think the shortest contract out of everyone, even Aguilar. I think the shortest contract out of all
4
those
years.
players they added was 2.
Oh, it's 2.
You got Hunter Henry's at least 4 years. I think KB is 3 years.
Judon's 4.
Judon, he's next year.
Smith is 4.
He's got to be the captain of the defense next year.
100%.
Well,
you can't take it away
it's
from Van Noy,
It's
McCourty, and
McCourty.
Hightower.
Well, you know how it is. If we become like those other teams with 19 captains, he'll be the captain of the defense.
Well, McCourty's brother, another prime example of Patriots that don't excel outside of the Patriots.
Well, that's a key example of a player who had some talent, was put into the Patriots system. Patriots system made him look like a world-class talent. Went elsewhere, chased money, and like you say, just fell flatter than a plate of piss. So,
Yeah.
absolutely correct example there. And we could list them all off.
I kind of miss seeing both McCourtys on the field.
I know.
I'm not gonna
Remember
lie.
when they first signed him? Everyone was like, "Okay, Belichick could play head games here. He should have them switch jerseys at the half."
Hold on. I just realized, which McCourty brother do we have?
Devin.
Okay, we have Devin.
We've had Devin since 2010.
Something like that. I think he's gonna finish as a Patriot.
Oh, so he absolutely. I've
Same with
no doubt about
with Matthew
that.
Slater.
Oh yeah,
I love Matt Slater.
100%. Yeah. Oh, he's so cool.
Yeah.
Matthew Slater. Is he still doing what's the commercial he used to do? Cars. It used to be the car commercials. Is he still doing
the car
that?
commercial.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Cause here's the thing. There's no. Even when I watch like local TV, I don't get the local commercials because I'm watching a simulcast on Xfinity.com. So I don't see the normal.
It's like your recording will return soon after these
I get
messages.
the CBS thing, or I
Logo.
get or Comcast just inserts their own commercials over it. But
Right.
or I watch on the main broadcast and I get the local commercials for here. But at home that used to be a funny commercial. He wore the glasses. He used to have the glasses on. It was great.
Oh,
yeah. So we love our New England Patriots. What is going on with baseball? And there's a lot of stuff going on. I think JBJ came back to the Red Sox.
I wanted to bring up the news for you in MLB, but I'm locked out of my computer.
You're locked out.
Speaking of lockouts, the MLB and the Player Association failed to reach a negotiation Friday at midnight. So the MLB, the owners have locked out their players, essentially.
I still can't get over that. So what happened, at least the way I've read it, is that there's not even a contract dispute or a dispute over terms. The CBA just expired and nobody renewed it.
Exactly.
So it triggered like an automatic lockout. Isn't this the first time in history, or at least in MLB history, where
ninth time in the
where
game's
no,
history.
where the owners are locking out the players?
Yes, I believe this is the first time where the owners lock out the players rather than the players going on strike.
I don't believe it. If you go on MLB.com right now, there are no photographs of anything.
Nope. they
Club
took down
logos, players' likenesses. You get a blank picture
of baseball
of
field.
of a home plate, and no all the headlines about anything that happened last season are taken down. In fact, I think any headlines of anything that happened longer than 10 seasons ago have been taken down, or shorter than 10 seasons ago, are not available on MLB.com.
Yeah.
Every player's foot. You can't view statistics. You can't view upcoming events. You can't view scores. Players' photographs are replaced with blank placeholders. I saw this. This was hysterical. The players are having fun with it. A lot of them have replaced like their Twitter icons and their Instagram profile pictures
With the same blank face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which
But
I
this
love. They're having fun with it. What is going on, dude? Is baseball dead? Is it
the
that
first,
big of a joke? Think of
This
how
is the
many,
first lockout since 1990.
think of how many billions and trillions of dollars are at stake. It's a lockout because they just let the CBA expire. They just forgot they had to renegotiate a collective bargaining agreement.
Right. And it's such a shame because so many names have been moving around this week in free agency.
Yeah.
Javi Baez went to the Tigers.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Corey Seager went to the Texans.
Ah, poor
The Rangers.
LA. No, Dodgers. Poor Dodgers. They lost Corey Seager.
I know, I meant to say Texans, but
Yeah.
Seager went to the Rangers because
Okay.
Texas Rangers, not
Texans.
Texas. The Texas Texans.
I do the same thing. If I'm looking quick, I'll call the Cowboys the Dallas Stars. That's a bad one. That's not even
It's not-
forgivable. That's bad.
I mean, it's not forgivable considering the fact it's a star in the middle of the field.
I know, but that's bad.
Yeah.
The Dallas Stars. The
Red Sox
the
traded
highest
Renfroe.
valued team in the entire country. The Dallas Stars.
The Dallas Stars. Yes, hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. They're looking for better. I'm trying to read into this. Like, what's the lockout? The last deal was 2016. That was negotiated.
Yeah. And here's what was supposed to happen. The lockout that was supposed to happen this winter or this summer was the hockey one. But they avoided it.
How long was it renewed until?
So the CBA was supposed to expire, I think, summer of 22.
Okay.
But they renewed it, they extended it in winter of 20, like winter of 20-21. Oh no. It was before COVID. Yeah, winter of 1920.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right before.
So now
COVID.
it extends to 22. Now, no, it extends past 22. Like 22 would have been the lockout.
So,
I had a bunch of stuff about this on my Instagram story, but the posts, I guess
deleted.
the people who originally posted them got removed, so now it's not visible on my account, or I don't know, whichever.
sucks.
Hey, the one about the Grinch is still there. There's a picture. It's hysterical. It's like the Grinch, but it says the Batman who stole the NHL season. It looks like the cover to
beautiful.
Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. I love it.
But coming back to the baseball shortage, there are rumors flying around that we could be missing the first month of the season.
I'd believe it.
They're
These
saying
idiots
it
running
could,
the league, Manfred.
Right. There's a chance that spring training doesn't start on time because you can't talk to your players
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with the players. They're not even meeting right now. They're just going their own separate ways.
Is free agency frozen?
Free agency is frozen.
Ah.
Trades are frozen.
Jeez.
Everything is frozen.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
the players, instead of going on strike, did they make money when the players go on strike?
Oh.
I think they have to do by their contracts.
What's written in the CBA?
Exactly.
I think you get your downside guarantee, and that's
Because right
it.
now, by the owners locking out their players,
Yeah.
no one's making money.
Right.
So I think it's going to be made relatively quickly.
Right. I mean, check that if that's public knowledge, then check it. I think either you get your downside guarantee or you get nothing.
Right.
Dude, this is like Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
That Major League Baseball woke up one morning and just told every player they were fired.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So is there any deeper we can dig on that, or is that kind of the length?
It just started Thursday morning. I think we need to let it develop a couple weeks before we touch up on it again.
Sure. Yeah.
Other than that, I think we're
Elsewise, what would you
stuck
like,
on it.
Would you like to talk about? Should we talk about basketball? Just
if you
surface
have something
level?
on basketball, you can
Yeah,
definitely
so
say it.
my-
I just don't know anything about it.
So my prediction for the Golden State Warriors of an 80-win, 2-loss season is no longer possible. They lost to the Phoenix Suns in a thriller. Great game.
Oh, yeah,
very
that's probably
close
a
game.
very good
So I
game.
think they're 18-3, or they're. Yeah, that sounds right. Are we deep enough in the season for them to be
So-
18-3?
Yeah, the Celtics right now are 12-11.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So that makes
18-3.
sense.
So the deal with Golden State, I think, is they're back to the same starting roster from 2014-15, that first year where they won it all.
It's amazing, honestly.
And think of how much better every player is since then. It's Steph Curry.
Steph
Draymond
Curry's
Green.
never left.
He's unbelievable. They got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, and Wiggins, right? Wiggins is the last. Wiggins is the 4. Wiggins is the 4 on the. Look that up for me. But it's whichever. It's the exact same roster as that the first year that they won it all. Now you have everybody who only got better since then. The band is back together. They've lost 3 games and it's already December. They're my favorites. They have those cool new shirts that look like New York Ranger shirts.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I hope they wear those in the playoffs. Those are fantastic. But they're my favorite. The sky's falling in LA. Sky's almost falling in Boston. But the sky really isn't falling because they weren't in the stars at the start of the season.
Like last year.
Yeah, it's Tatum, and it's Brown, and Brown is still hurt, and it's Smart, and that's about it. And that's all you're gonna get.
Exactly.
I feel bad 'cause I'm repeating myself now. Every week it's the same thing. Schroeder can't shoot. Cantor doesn't play. Horford's too slow. Williams, is young and he still needs to get better. You need one more star.
Exactly.
I'll leave it at that.
I think it's gonna be made at the trade deadline.
I pray.
I pray as well.
You know, and Langford, same deal as Williams. He knows his position, but he's still too young. He has to get better.
Exactly.
That's 44's last name, right? Is Williams?
Yeah, Robert
'Cause
Williams.
We have 2 kids named Williams, and it was confusing me so bad during one game. Yeah. Anything else? Lakers. LeBron James has, how many COVID shots do you need now? 9. He has all of them, and he popped a positive. So
he forgot AstraZeneca.
So he's not playing until I want to say
No,
Wednesday
he got cleared.
or Monday. Okay.
I think it's cleared for this
he's
weekend.
He's gonna play Monday.
Something like that.
That's their next game.
Yeah.
Let me look at the Celtics roster here. Yeah, Yeah, we have what's his name? Robert Williams, and there's Grant Williams. So Robert Williams, great center, great young player, has to develop. Grant is yeah. What's Grant Williams play? Point guard?
I think so.
Plays something.
I can't tell you who the positions they are.
Cantor actually played. No, his name's not Cantor anymore.
Oh yeah, Enos.
We have to talk about this. I totally forgot. His name is now that he's a U.S. citizen, his name is now Enos Freedom.
Enos Cantor Freedom.
Well, Cantor is his middle name now.
I know. It's.
Yeah.
We got to tiptoe around.
What a
this one.
situation
We got to tiptoe on this one.
Well, we don't have to tiptoe around it. We're not getting China money. His name is now Enos Freedom, folks. So I think he wanted to bring back his jersey from Disney World during the COVID playoffs.
God.
No, because it's the same, except his number's different now. Yeah, he's not I wish he would trade with Payton Pritchard. That'd be the perfect shirt for me. Kid Payton wearing number 13. That's the shirt.
The shirt.
And Payton Pritchard is 11, so Cantor is 13, and it ruins the whole deal for me. But
yep.
Enos Freedom, our new, what is he, the 3rd string center?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Pretty much.
Yeah, stirs up.
It's not even good.
That's the thing, is it'd be one thing if he was like your star player, or he's taking you to the playoffs and he's stirring up this much trouble. He doesn't even play and he's stirring up this much trouble. I'm surprised we haven't heard more out of the Celtics front office. Either we stand by him as our player and support his freedom to express his opinions.
Yeah, I haven't heard him say anything.
Or his opinions don't represent or reflect that of the Boston Celtics franchise. I haven't heard either.
Yeah, me neither.
They've said nothing. Maybe they're banking on the fact that he's irrelevant to the team. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
But crazy. Lakers, they have Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis.
Yep.
And Carmelo Anthony. And I think Rondo even came back. And LeBron James. And I don't even know if they're in the playoff picture right now because they keep losing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so there's that. Anything in hockey?
I got nothing in the world of hockey right now. It's just games are being played.
Yeah, what's your take on what's your take on the Bruins past couple of weeks? It's been 2 weeks. Where are they since we last talked about them?
Up and down. They're currently sitting. Let me pull the standings. 12-8.
Marchand got suspended for 3 games and I believe what was it, $93,000 for a slew foot. Yep. Meanwhile, in the same week of play, you had PK Subban, give someone a slew foot that was very, much more dangerous, a lot worse. Could have, and I think may have resulted in a worse injury. Just given a $15,000 fine, which for the money he makes is nothing.
Then you got Artemi Panarin throwing a glove at Marchand.
Panarin. I was at that game and I didn't see that.
I know.
I totally missed it.
Imagine if you saw it, you would have been like,
kid starts throwing gloves. If I were Marchand, I would have thrown the glove like down the Bruins tunnel so he couldn't get it back, or whichever Bruin may have caught the glove.
Caught the glove and just give it away.
Yeah.
Give it to a fan.
We actually have good news. Jack Eichel was seen
skating in North Carolina.
Yeah, he's back on the ice after his
Golden Knights, baby.
Neck surgery, which is a very good sign. He obviously, as we know, has been traded to Vegas in what was kind of a blockbuster trade, which had lots of narratives swirling around it.
Buffalo always gets fleeced.
Well, not even they wanted to get fleeced even worse. They wanted to just hold him and eat his contract.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would have done worse to themselves than if
Buffalo gets fleeced in the Taylor Hall trade. Yeah. Buffalo, you want to see me do it again?
Yeah. Actually, let's take a quick break. After the break, give me the NHL standings because we have a fun segment we're gonna do here. Anyway, folks, this is WMHB 89.7, the Payton Priv Sports Hour, the most electrifying hour in radio. I'm Payton Privitera here with Josh Houle. We'll be right back, so do not go anywhere.
And if we get the fight, then I'm cocking on you. Catch me at your local party, yes, I crack it every day. Haters get mad, cause I got me some baby. Soldier boy, I been it. Why me crack it, why me roll? Why me crack that soldier boy, that Superman, that now why me you? Crack that soldier, 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 now what? I'm bouncing on my toe. Why me super so dead? Oh, that's 2 A-Rab and he gon' crank it up for sure. Haters wanna beat me, soldier boy, I'm the man, they be
Welcome back to WMHB 89.7. This is the Payton Priv Sports Hour. I'm Payton Privitera from Payton Priv TV, here with Josh Houle. Now, we have the NHL league standings in front of us, and this is just, something I wanted to talk about, get everybody's, awareness up here. In first place for the ping pong balls, with 32nd in the league, is the Ottawa Senators. 31st is the Phoenix Coyotes. 30th, is this the...
Yeah, this is the league.
I can't see the legend up there because there's a specific stat I have to get right here. In 30th are the New York Islanders. Highlight the home column for me then. So the Islanders are 30th in the league, playing in the gorgeous brand new
UBS Arena.
UBS Arena. And I believe they're 0-5. They have a 5-game losing streak.
0-4-1.
0-4-1 They've yet to win in the new building.
That's terrible.
That's
hey, atrocious.
You can buy a blue and orange hamburger, though, if you go there.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually kind of cool, I'm not going to lie.
29th, we have the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens.
That's kind of disappointing. You're the runner-up to the Stanley
know.
Cup.
Actually, can we get Nick on the phone? He said he'd be available after 1. It is after 1. Can I call him up? I'll text him right now. Anyway, so the Canadians are 29th.
28th is the Canucks.
28th is the Canucks. 27th, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Everyone thought the
What is going
Blackhawks
on?
were going to make some noise after,
I mean-
trading for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Look at the roster. They got Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Marc-Andre Fleury.
They just traded away Malcolm Subban.
Traded for who they get? Or just did they
Buffalo
did
to
they
Buffalo
dish 'em?
for
Did they-
future considerations.
Okay. Future consideration.
Speaking of the Sabres, they're right above the Blackhawks.
In what place? 28th?
No, 6, I think.
No, wait. So, see, I like the NHL.coms. You have the ESPN.com
Yeah,
standings.
Buffalo is 26.
Oh, it's
I'll pull it up on NHL.
So then that means the Seattle Kraken, the brand new team, everyone wanted to be their next Las Vegas Golden Knights, are 25th. 25th. That's not even mediocre.
The Kraken.
The Kraken, the Seattle Kraken.
What's Kraken?
All right, here we go. Joining us live from London, England, is also just like myself, amateur, wearing I believe that is a Cole Caulfield home red Montreal Canadiens jersey, possibly a Gallagher, Brandon Gallagher. That's right. Jersey is Nick Fiacco. Now Nick, our dear friend, the boy Cole Caulfield, has been recalled from the American Hockey League affiliate Laval Rocket back to the Canadiens' main roster. Has he thus far been living up to the top billing that he has been given? Is he recreating that magic he had in the 2021 playoffs? Yet.
No. But he's scored once. He's had chances. He's had assists. But he cannot do what he used to be able to do, apparently. Or I don't know if it's the line he's on, which changes every night, or what. But short answer is no, he cannot do what he was doing before at the moment.
Now, since we last spoke, the Montreal Canadiens have in fact fired their general manager, Marc Bergevin. Obviously, I want to ask you, what's your reaction to this? Are you happy? Are you sad? I know a lot of the Canadiens faithful, or Habs Nation, if you will, had mixed feelings about the job he did as the general manager. And who do you think could take that spot? Obviously, my dark horse front runners are Roberto Luongo and Martin Brodeur, but obviously a lot of names in the running. So, like you say, who do you think will take the job? And also, what is your just general reaction to parting ways with Bergevin?
So, I'm with most of the rest of the fan base, and it's kind of mixed in how we feel about Bergevin himself being gone. The rest of the staff, that's fine. We're not really sure they were doing anything, but I don't know. Bergevin made some good trades. He made some trades other people probably wouldn't have made. Got us some players that maybe most managers wouldn't have gone out and gotten, and turned out to be pretty good. But he's also made some pretty terrible trades. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag. Since he's been GM, they haven't really done that well, apart from the 2 seasons where they went further in the playoffs because they got in the playoffs in the first place with a shortened season. So I don't know if you can actually say the teams were good enough to get in the playoffs in the first place, but I think it's time for a change, and I think that change should come in the form of Patrick Roy, because the man wants to come back, and I think he would be a just force to be reckoned with, and he'd shake up everything in Montreal and get them going, because really I think they just need someone behind them that's like a motivation to play for.
I personally, if that's, within the realm of possibility, I'd love to see Patrick Roy in the front office for the Canadiens. Obviously, we all follow our different, historical social media accounts. I follow one called Hockey Book Hockey, and they said yesterday that this day in history was the last game Roy had ever played for the Canadiens, where he was put in that embarrassing position and forced to give up 9 goals to the Detroit Red Wings. And the iconic, pictures and video clips that came from that day, and obviously the rest is history. But I would love to see, a remarriage, a reunion there between Roy and the Canadiens. I think that'd be really cool. I think he'd give them a good opportunity to win. Very personable, you know, ex-player. I always considered him to be a class act. One of my favorite all-time, players in the history of the National Hockey League. Obviously, they're gonna look at some other guys. I don't know the full list of potential replacements. Certain lists I've seen, they want to include Luongo and Brodeur, but I'd love to see why if that's a potential outcome there.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, you can look at Luongo and Brodeur, but I just, with the experience that Roy has had in Colorado already, and like the kind of willingness he seems to be displaying to want to come and work with these guys and like get back into the organization, I think that's a better choice for the Habs than the other two, and I think that that's who I want at this point, because if you got a GM who's like excited to work with a team and has been around the organization before, knows how to win. Obviously, he's won 4 cups, 2 of which were with Montreal. I mean, I think he went to Colorado for like 5 years maybe, and left right as they started to become good. So, I mean, I don't know how much of them being really good right now you attribute to his time as GM, picking those players up and putting that team together a little bit. But, like, if he can get them to a place like Colorado is at somehow, or at least motivate the current crop of players who are better than they're showing to be at this point, then I think all of that's good. And I think overall he's like the candidate that they should be looking at first.
I think so too. In my mind, that's just a perfect fit, Patrick Waugh. Before we let you go, I want to ask you, when we checked in on you last, I believe your European, what's the word they used there? Anyway, your career that took you to London now, you won your first game, undefeated, 1-0. How have you been since? What has transpired? Excursion, excuse me. Your European excursion as
Yeah.
your hockey career has brought you on.
So it's limited in how much we play at the moment. There are practices once a week, but those are really late at night and not easy to go to. But there's been one game since I last talked to you, which we played against the Imperial College team, who are supposed to be a lot better than the team we played the first week, and we won. I think it was technically 8-3 in the end, but the scoreboard showed 7-3. The last goal didn't show up for some reason, and one of their goals was an own goal by one of our defensemen. So it was 8-2. In reality, I don't really know what the official score sheet will say, because apparently they haven't even submitted one. So yeah, it wasn't great. There was not a referee, so we had one of their players refereeing the first half, one of ours the second half. Their player was certified to be a ref, so we were allowed to hit for the first time this season. And then when our players were reffing, we were not allowed to hit, so that was an interesting change. But we also got cut off. As I told you, I think 12 minutes left in the third period, they shut us down because we were delayed 20 minutes after they couldn't find a ref. And yeah, so we had a shortened game, but it went well overall. I think we're looking good. Got another game on Wednesday of this week. So afternoon game, the matinee will be happening against another team that's supposed to be, I think, the best we're going to play before Christmas break. So should be interesting.
The matinee. Anyway, Nick, we're glad to hear it here. Glad to hear you guys are finding so much success. The makeup of that team seems really cool. You were telling me it's all, Russians, Finns, Americans, a couple Canadians. That seems wild. So, especially for an amateur team, for a school team, that seems crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we finally got our first Brits on the team who have
Brits.
actually shown up. We've got two. So, then they're pretty. One of them at least is pretty good. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the other one who's on D, but we had a different goalie. I mean, overall it seems like a very solid team. We've got two tendies. They both seem to be pretty good. This one's less so, but still. So, overall, I think we're looking pretty good for the season, which doesn't actually start until end of January or early February. So these are exhibition games.
Still, wins are wins. You know, you feel good. You prep for it the way you would any other game. But anyway, that's fantastic. Nick, we thank you for coming in. We love having you. Anyway, the co-founder and co-host with me for the Top Shelf Radio, where they stash the peanut butter here in WMHB. Always a welcomed addition to the Payton Priv Sports Hour. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep, we'll hear from you next time. Whenever, maybe we'll hear from you next time. I will see you, man. Hopefully I see you during the break for the holiday, right?
Definitely.
All right, we'll see you,
You
man.
gotta give me the leaf, man.
Definitely. I'll see you. All right, great hearing from Nick as always. It's amazing that there's like a London hockey scene.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's good to see that.
yeah, I love that. Obviously, it's nothing like it is over here, but I love that. You know, the game needs to grow. I feel like what could they do to grow the game? A lot of people have suggested, you know, adding roller hockey to the Summer Olympics to give it more exposure to other
I would like
countries. Yeah, I'd like that too. Like what more can we do? And the NHL themselves have said, you know, with the expansion of Seattle, we're probably going to hold off for another 10 years on adding a new team to grow the game internationally and grow, you know, will grow their own fan base internationally at minimum. But, you know, what else can you do to really, because it's part of our culture. We're ingrained in it here, you know, the certain territories in the United States and then all of Canada, and then, you know, you go overseas,
Right.
Czech, Finn, Russia, Slovak, Swedish, even East German, or East German, West German, what side's bigger? Anyway, Germany, and it's part of the culture, and you have all these countries who probably have some phenomenal athletes who they're just, you know, they're not into hockey, or they might not even know what hockey is because there's no exposure to it over there. Or if there is exposure, it's impossible to, you know, find a rink and go play, you know?
Right.
So, you know, that warms my heart to hear that about London, that they have all these different teams and they're playing against each other, and that's really cool. Any other closing thoughts here? Any final stories? Any headlines? Any,
I got nothing.
you know, earth-shattering things? We didn't give very much time to Jackie Bradley returning to the Red Sox. Oh, and they picked up right-handed Rich Hill? Left-handed Rich Hill? Yeah.
And also
Left-handed,
James
and he's from here, so that was his impetus to come here. He's from Boston, Rich Hill. I remember I was in Hanover, New Hampshire on a night close to Halloween. May have been even a playoff game, and he threw a no-hitter. Actually, no, I'm mixing up two different events here. But there was one day I was in Massachusetts still for this. He was pitching a no-hitter that went 9 innings, but it was tied 0-0. So in the 10th inning, he gave up a home run, and they blew the whole thing on him. I
Jeez.
know. And then he was on that Cubs team, wasn't he? That went all the way.
I think so.
Yeah. So he's got a ring out of it. Yeah.
That's good.
That's what I was in New Hampshire for. He was on the Cubs pitching, and that was fantastic. And he won that game, I'm certain. Anything else we got? Patriots injury report. Who's the running back? JJ something.
Taylor.
JJ Taylor. I thought he was on the injured reserve. Then I heard he was.
No, he was
he's
just- yeah.
inactive for COVID list.
Yep.
So regardless, he's not going to play Monday night. Injured reserve for COVID list. Patriots. Oh yeah, we can talk about that, absolutely. So next season, with the new NFL, you know, rule change where you're allowed to have 2 game day helmets as opposed to 1, the Patriots are gonna bring back some type,
Pat
some
Patriot.
form, some variation of a red jersey next year. What are your thoughts and reactions to this? Do you think it'll be the same?
Love it. Love it.
Here's the thing. Do you think it'll be the same as it always was, just the red with the stripes, or you think they'll get creative and they'll make it, you know, in the image of the current shirt they're wearing now, just with a red base?
I think it'll be a combination. Old school helmet with the new school look.
I think so. I think that'll be really cool for us to look at. You know? Yeah.
Other than that,
I
don't
think
have
I
anything
think we
else.
can sign off with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fun one. That's a very fun one. New England Patriots, new shirts. That'll be great next season. So anyway, folks, it has been wonderful having you here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with us. No episode last week because of Thanksgiving, but we're happy to have you back. We hope it was a good re-entry Monday, a great re-entry episode into the show. A lot of really crazy stuff happening this week. A lot of wild headlines. But we'll be right back here next week. Probably. Me, Payton Privitera from Payton Priv TV, and Josh Houle from NCAA Athletics on this, the most electrifying hour in radio on WMHB, the Payton Priv Sports Hour. We'll see you next time.